To train his iron sand palm, the man didn't hesitate to stick his hand into a steel ball heated to over 100 degrees Celsius. It was as if he couldn't feel pain. He kept poking at the hot steel inside. Soon, his hand was covered in blood, but he refused to give up. After quickly treating his wounds, he continued practicing. Eventually, after persistent effort, he felt his martial arts had reached their peak. He decided to challenge the Shaolin 18 bronze men formation. When he entered the first trial, he faced a row of armored bronze men. These bronze men had very strong defenses. To win, he had to get behind them, which was relatively easy for him. When he reached the end, the man noticed that the final bronze man had several red dots on its body. He tried hitting these red dots, and the bronze man immediately stopped moving. This allowed him to proceed to the second trial. This time, his opponents were 4 bronze men holding large knives. At the signal, the bronze men raised their knives and attacked him. Without any weapons, he could only dodge. But then, he noticed a large knife hanging from the ceiling. He quickly jumped up, grabbed the knife, and with a weapon in hand, the bronze men were no longer a match for him. Next, the man reached the third trial, which tested his focus. He had to stand with his back to a giant bell. As long as he could withstand the sound waves from the bell's continuous strikes, he would pass. But after just 3 strikes, the force was so strong that blood began to pour from his nose and mouth. He couldn't hold on until the last 2 strikes, and collapsed to the ground, failing the trial. Feeling frustrated, the man trained even harder, practicing day and night. He even developed a secret technique, greatly improving his skills. Not long after, he decided to challenge the bronze men again. This time, with the experience he had gained in his intense training, he quickly made it to the 6th trial. In this trial, the bronze men would drop a copper coin on the ground to help the challenger locate them by sound. If the challenger guessed wrong, they would be punished. A monk failed this part because he couldn't hear clearly and was hit, spitting out blood. But the man didn't back down. He sat cross-legged in the center and began the test. Southwest, southeast. He easily identified the correct directions, so the bronze men increased the difficulty by dropping 2 copper coins at once. But the man listened carefully and still correctly identified the positions. He moved on to the next trial, where the walls were lined with sharp spikes. The bronze man and he would battle less than a meter away from the spikes. If he failed, the spikes behind him would pierce through him, and he would die. Now, he began to hesitate.